Okay, good day to everybody. So this is just for a simple recap, an audio recording of the lesson that I have posted last week. For more clarifications, we're talking about here the varieties and registers of spoken and written language. When we say variety, that means to say the different kinds or the different um, languages or the different means of saying a particular language. So here we will be talking about how the spoken and written language would differ. So when we say about varieties of Englishes, we know for a fact that there's what we call the world Englishes, and then we classify them according to the source. Sometimes we often hear British English or American English, Australian English, and we are actually hoping that the Filipino English would be accepted in the international scenery to be accepted as one or acknowledged as one of the world's Englishes. So the English variety that we use is actually localized according to the sources. So what I will do, the next slide showcases about Catchru's three concentric English. We have identified the inner circle, the outer circle, and the expanding circle. If you Google this, there might be a couple of pictures or on how it's presented, but more likely they're the same. They will have the inner circle, who is the producer of the English language, and then the outer circle, who happens to be a direct influence of the inner circle, and the expanding circle, who also have the influence of the outer circle. Who are these inner circle? These are the producer of the English language. We have the America, you have United Kingdom, where British English is can be located. You have now Canada, you have Australia, and New Zealand. These inner circle countries do not have any other language to use except English. So regardless of the provinces or different cities that they are living, they only use the English language. On the other hand, the next circle is the outer circle. If you notice, they do have the connection or the the intermingling of the circular or the circle which attach directly to the outer circle. The outer circles are influenced, more likely their English is influenced by the inner circle. Definitely, this takes place either language contact or what do we call that? Invasion, or they are with the country for specific years. So, or colonized, or they're colonized countries. Like Philippines is a colonized country of U.S. So we do have Bangladesh. India's English is influenced by UK, particularly the British one. You have Ghana, Kenya of Africa, Nigeria, Malaysia, Pakistan. Philippines is definitely US English. Singapore is British Eng. And then Sri Lanka, Tanzania, and Zambia. These are countries that uses English as their second language, meaning to say they do have their mother tongue, they have their native tongue, and then they make use of English as their second language. In the contrary, we have the expanding circle. The expanding circle is directly influenced by the outer circle. If you notice, the inner circle is far from the expanding circle. They're already secondary to their English is influenced by the countries who speaks English as their second language. They are exposed from the outer circle and they learn from the outer circle, There might be times, couple of times in their lives that they do have um, a direct contact with the inner circle, but in terms of the influence they do have from the outer circle. The expanding circle, these are the countries wherein English is a foreign language. That means to say they have to learn it by sending themselves to school in a four-wall cornered classroom, and the English is used for business purposes. So what countries are these? These are China, Egypt, Indonesia, Korea, and the rest. So English for them is a foreign language. If you notice in the Philippine setting, even in Davao City, we do have a famous schools for online teaching, and most of their students are coming from the expanding circle. So that means to say they learn the language for the sake of education, for the sake of business, and so on and so forth. So these are the varieties of English that we do consider. We have the inner circle, or the producer of the language. Then right after that is the outer circle, which was directly influenced by the inner circle. These countries from the outer circle mix use English as their second language. On the other hand, the third is the expanding circle. These are the countries who learn their English in the classroom setup, which was influenced by the outer circle. And the English in these countries are used only as foreign language. These definitely are the three concentric circles presented by Hatsu. So we do have um, structure characteristics. Example, you have social features of these languages. You have basilectal, mesolectal, and acrolectal varieties of English within their speech community. What does it mean? The acrolect comes to the closest to the standards. Definitely, we could not say that there is a standard English, because if we say so, the countries maybe from inner circle would have to fight their way going up to the top to be identified as the standard English. That's the reason why maybe we do have English IPA, or the International Phonetic Alphabet, so that all of the English countries who are part of the inner circle would have to abide from that organization, wherein they had a unified way of speaking the language regardless of what countries you came from. Basilic, definitely these are the countries that departs from the standard. They come closest to the pidgin, or from their lingua franca. These definitely are the countries coming from the expanding circle. On the other hand, we do have the mesolect. This definitely is the outer circle, just in between the inner circle and the expanding circle, where Philippines is definitely a mesolectal country, a mesolect country rather. These are the middle variety, or the midway between the acrolect and the baselect. So acrolect are the closest standard. These are the inner circle. You have the baselect for the outer circle, no, from the expanding circle, and then you have the mesolect for the inner circle. Kasama ni